Seiya.
Did you ever watch this U.S. version? I think it was on Cartoon Network.
No, but I think it's like, isn't it like the protagonist is like a servant of Athena?
That sounds about right.
I know if that's on the right track, then I know like a little bit about the story. I don't know that.
Yeah. Saint Seiya follows a group of warriors known as saints who protect a reincarnated Athena against other Greek gods determined to rule the world.
Yeah. Other than that knowledge, I know nothing about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this kind of had like, I remember seeing this and getting it confused with Ronin Warriors. Do you remember that show?
Mm-mm.
It's probably before your time. But that was like another, like, I want to say 70s anime that like got brought over here like 15 years after the fact and dubbed into a completely different thing. I don't even think Saint Seiya was called Saint Seiya over here. I think it was better known as Knights of the Zodiac, which is a bit strange because there's only 5 of them and there's a lot more than 5 in the Zodiac, but what do I know? And then I remember seeing like the manga. I was like, oh, this was called Saint Seiya.
Which Zodiac are they going off of?
I think they just went off the standard, astrology Zodiac.
Okay. Because in Asia they have options.
Yeah, and I think the full title is like Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac, but it was over for the U.S. version. I think that's all they called it, was that. And I think I watched like an episode or two. I thought it was okay. As far as like that era of anime goes. I don't really like much from the 70s and 80s, if I'm going to be honest. I think the only thing I can really stomach from the 80s is Dragon Ball, to be honest.
I don't really know if I like anything. I think the earliest I've ever watched has probably been either Cowboy Bebop or Trigun.
And those were like early 90s.
Yeah.
With me, if it's older than me, I probably won't like it. That's kind of my rule. I think Dragon Ball premiered a year before I was born, though. But that's an exception. So, this is also getting the Netflix treatment, much the same way that Voltron got. So, while I don't... I watched a lot more Voltron than this. So I get really nostalgic every time I watch like a new episode of Voltron on Netflix. This, I have a lot less interest going into it, but I'll give it a shot. I will definitely give this a few episodes to grab my attention to see if I want to watch more of it, because they do a good job with Voltron. Now, it is that DreamWorks television, Avatar, The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra style animation. So if you're not a fan of that, this is... I don't want to make that call, but something tells me this may be made by the same people. But who knows? Apparently Netflix just announced like a whole bunch of anime that's being like redone specifically for Netflix. This is not the only one. So
I know that there's a few anime that are out this season that Netflix is they're gonna be releasing. I didn't hear of anything else other than this that they're remaking.
Yeah, they're gonna be doing this. I think there's like 6 or 7 series total though that they announced that they're gonna be doing. So Netflix is busy with their original content. What do you think? Do you think you'd give this a shot?
I think I would look into it. The idea of it seems really cool. I'm really big into Greek mythology, so I'd be interested to see like what they do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be. I think they could do a cool modern take on it. Maybe tone down the '80s rocker hairstyle just a little bit. No, you want them bigger hair, even bigger.
Yeah, but if anime has taught me anything, the bigger the hair, the stronger the person.
Right, definitely. And the more you eat too.
Yes.